By the time the 2016 season began, Cristiano Ronaldo was no longer the explosive winger who once destroyed fullbacks with endless stepovers and raw acceleration. Yet he was facing a far more dangerous challenge than any defender could present, because time, injuries, and physical wear were forcing him to confront a truth every great player must eventually face. To remain dominant, he would have to change. For years, Ronaldo's game had been built on speed, volume, and constant involvement as he drifted wide, demanded the ball, and attacked defenders relentlessly. However, by his early 30s, the physical cost of that style had begun to surface, especially after recurring knee issues that limited his explosiveness and recovery. Rather than resisting reality, Ronaldo chose adaptation, understanding that longevity at the highest level requires intelligence as much as intensity. Under Zinedine Zidane, Real Madrid quietly began reshaping Ronaldo's role, reducing his defensive workload, limiting his time on the wings, and encouraging him to conserve energy for decisive moments inside the penalty area. This was not a demotion, but an evolution, one that required Ronaldo to abandon habits that had defined his identity for more than a decade. At first glance, his overall numbers appeared to dip. He dribbled less, touched the ball fewer times, and spent longer stretches seemingly disconnected from play. Critics mistook this for decline, questioning whether Ronaldo was fading rather than transforming. Yet beneath the surface, a different version of greatness was taking shape. Ronaldo studied space rather than defenders, timing rather than speed, movement rather than confrontation. He learned when to disappear so that he could reappear at precisely the right second, often inside the 6-yard box, where anticipation matters more than flair. His finishing became colder, more efficient, and devastatingly precise. This transformation did not happen overnight, nor was it driven by necessity alone. It was the product of self-awareness, tactical trust, and a refusal to allow physical limitation to define his ceiling. Ronaldo was no longer chasing the ball, he was waiting for it. And in doing so, he was preparing to become even more lethal than before. As the 2016-17 season unfolded, Cristiano Ronaldo's transformation began to reveal its true purpose, because while his league form appeared inconsistent, his influence in the Champions League reached a level of efficiency rarely seen before. What many interpreted as selective involvement was in reality a calculated conservation of energy designed for moments that mattered most. Ronaldo no longer chased the rhythm of matches from the first minute. Instead, he observed, positioned himself intelligently, and waited for the defensive structure to relax for even a fraction of a second. When that moment arrived, his movement was decisive, sharp, and almost instinctive, allowing him to strike without expending unnecessary effort. The knockout stages of the Champions League exposed the brilliance of this evolution. Against Bayern Munich, Ronaldo did not overwhelm defenders with speed or dribbling, but with timing and awareness, appearing repeatedly in the right space to finish chances that others could not even anticipate. His goals were not spectacular in isolation, yet collectively they were devastating, dismantling one of Europe's most disciplined sides. This version of Ronaldo required trust, both from the coaching staff and from teammates, because his reduced involvement demanded that others carry more of the build-up responsibility. Zidane embraced this shift, structuring the team to serve Ronaldo's positioning rather than his movement, creating an environment where his efficiency could thrive. Critics who once measured greatness through volume began to struggle, because Ronaldo was no longer dominating matches for 90 minutes, yet he was deciding them within seconds. His goal-scoring rate increased not through effort, but through precision, and his presence inside the box began to distort defensive priorities, drawing attention that opened space for others. In the semifinals and final, the pattern remained consistent.
Ronaldo arrived when defenders lost concentration, striking with clinical calm, proving that intelligence could replace explosiveness without diminishing impact. His brace in the final against Juventus did not feel like a moment of surprise, but the logical conclusion of a season built on patience and adaptation. The transformation was complete. Ronaldo had not declined, he had evolved into a predator who needed fewer touches to deliver more damage, reshaping the definition of dominance at the highest level. By the time the 2018 season arrived, Cristiano Ronaldo's transformation was no longer subtle because his role had fully shifted from constant protagonist to decisive finisher, a change that altered how Real Madrid attacked and how opponents defended. He was no longer required to dominate space across the pitch. Instead, he controlled moments within it, choosing when to appear and when to disappear with calculated intent. In La Liga, his numbers appeared modest compared to previous seasons, reinforcing the misconception that his influence was fading. Yet the Champions League told a very different story, one where Ronaldo's understanding of space, timing, and defensive psychology reached its peak. He conserved energy deliberately, often remaining peripheral for long stretches, forcing defenders to decide whether to track him closely or risk losing him for a single second. That hesitation became lethal. Against Paris Saint-Germain, Juventus, and Bayern Munich, Ronaldo punished defensive lapses with ruthless efficiency, scoring goals that relied not on speed or strength, but on anticipation and instinct. His iconic overhead kick against Juventus symbolized this evolution perfectly, because it was not merely an athletic feat, but a demonstration of spatial awareness, balance, and decisiveness developed through years of adaptation. Ronaldo's movement inside the box became minimalistic, yet devastating, as he attacked near-post spaces, timed late runs, and exploited blind spots that defenders could not cover indefinitely. He trusted teammates to create, while he focused exclusively on finishing, redefining leadership through restraint rather than volume. Zidane continued to protect him physically, rotating him domestically and allowing him to peak in Europe, a strategy that emphasized efficiency over endurance. This selective deployment reinforced the idea that Ronaldo was no longer competing with opponents alone, but with time itself, managing his body as carefully as his positioning. By the latter stages of the tournament, Ronaldo's presence alone altered matches, as defenders prioritized him even when he barely touched the ball. His influence extended beyond goals, shaping defensive structures and opening space for others to exploit. This was not the most spectacular version of Ronaldo, it was the smartest. And it proved that greatness does not vanish with age. It adapts, sharpens, and waits. When Cristiano Ronaldo left Real Madrid in the summer of 2018, his final seasons at the club stood as a masterclass in adaptation rather than decline, because the transformation he embraced between 2016 and 2018 extended his dominance rather than diminishing it. He departed not as a fading superstar, but as a player who had redefined how greatness survives time. By surrendering the need to influence every phase of play, Ronaldo preserved his body and sharpened his effectiveness, turning the penalty area into his true kingdom. His reduced involvement was not absence, but calculation, allowing him to appear precisely when defenses lost focus, when structure weakened, and when moments demanded finality. The trophies that followed, including consecutive Champions titles, validated this evolution. Yet the deeper legacy lay in how Ronaldo reshaped expectations of aging elite players. He demonstrated that intelligence, spatial awareness, and timing could replace volume and explosiveness without sacrificing impact, offering a blueprint for longevity at the highest level. This version of Ronaldo altered Real Madrid's identity, shifting the team toward collective creativity while preserving individual decisiveness. Teammates adjusted, understanding that his silence within matches was part of a larger design, one that prioritized outcome over expression. Years later, the period from 2016 to 2018 is remembered not only for silverware, but for the clarity of transformation it represented. Ronaldo accepted reality, refined his craft, and proved that evolution, when embraced rather than resisted, can elevate greatness beyond its original form. In doing so, he did not merely adapt to time, he mastered it.